Good morning, Bill Press. How are you?
Stephanie Miller, great to see you. Thank you. By the way, Joe Manchin, aren't these just
Oh my
sick
God.
of hearing? Listen, why do reporters hang on every word from Joe Manchin, Senator Cole?
That should be our slogan. That should be our slogan, make Manchin and Sinema irrelevant again. Let's get more Democrats in, and so no one ever puts a microphone in their faces again. As you tweeted, or you said this in your piece, Manchin and Sinema, they're not team players. Each of them is in it only for themselves, and each of them is willing to single-handedly destroy the legacy of President Joe Biden just to make headlines and satisfy their own warped ego. This is, there you go, Joe. Wait, hang on, I'm trying to find my rock star. There you go. That's for you, Bill.
No, I mean, seriously, I just can't believe it. At the same time, pass the damn bill and get it over with, you know?
Well, yeah. Okay. So let's, because I'm just, I love you. I've loved you for a long time, but I'm a happy, clappy liberal. You are, I may need to bitch slap you into the middle of the next election cycle. You are being very negative. No, Democrats.
You can call it negative. I think I was realistic about what happened Tuesday. Right?
Okay.
I really do think that all the infighting on the Hill by the way, I blame Manchin and Sinema most of all.
Thank you.
But I also blame our buddies, the progressives, just because they let Terry McAuliffe out there to hang him out to dry with nothing to support him at all. And I think they should have taken the best that they could do, passed the damn bill, and then Terry McAuliffe could have campaigned on child care and universal pre-K and all that.
Yeah. No, Bill, I hear you. I hear you on that. But I think that you also share their feelings about you don't trust Manchin and Sinema as far as you can throw them. Totally. So that's where, and you said on Twitter, progressives can't let Manchin hold them hostage any longer. They should pass the BIF, then hammer out the best Build Back Better deal they can. And you said progressives don't trust Manchin and Sinema with good reason. So I understand. And I think what I hate about the media is this whole Democrats in disarray and they just can't get it together. It is 2 senators are against what 99% of Democrats and what 80% of Americans are for in most polling, Bill. So it's not Democrats are in disarray, right?
I know it's not, but I really think that at this time we progressives have to suck it up and take the best deal we can and then move the hell on. And for the next 8 months, you know what they ought to be doing, I think? Breaking ground for new bridges, for new roads, for new highways, opening new child care centers, opening new pre-K stuff, and then saying, look what we can do. Look, you put us in charge. This is all this good stuff that we've done. Yeah. Instead of bicker. That's my point. It's just...
Right, but I mean, what kills me is we're not bickering. It's 2 people and the other thing, you write in your piece, Bill, this is what's so enraging, is that they don't even agree with each other. And you go through the whole, Sinema said she might be for this, but not Manchin's not for that. And it's just, how did this come down to? This is why we have to get more Democrats in and make them irrelevant. I mean, Barack Obama had 60 senators. Clinton had 57. The fact that Biden's been able to do what he's been able to do with not really even 50 senators is astounding. And we're going to get this done. We're going to get these bills done.
Yeah. He's got 48 senators, right?
Yes.
And then he has the senator from Cole, right?
I love that. You call him the senator from Cole.
The senator from Big Pharma, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, it's all campaign money for these 2 guys. I mean, don't believe that they're highfalutin, high-minded, moral people. No, it is campaign dollars that is driving both of them, I believe.
Right now, I mean, your Grumpy Gus piece that you wrote, already 2 things have been proven wrong, Bill. I will just point that out. They have put paid family and medical leave back in and negotiating drug prices.
Maybe.
I get it.
Maybe. We don't know. That's the point. Yeah,
right. So. But you say, I mean, it is true that, you say 2 years of tuition-free community college supported by 63% of Americans. That's gone. Paid family and medical leave, we'll see. Just went back in. We just played, Biden's. But you say supported by 82% of mothers, 69% of fathers. Okay.
Yeah.
Prescription drug, that is supported by 83% of Americans, as you say. Climate change, right? That was going to, I mean, again, there's going to be great stuff in here about this, not on the scale that we wanted it to be, because you said Senator Cole doesn't like it.
And you know what? I want to make this point. I think this is an important point that we all have to make. Is if we get that bill at one, let's say the Build Back Better, right? Or Build Back Smaller, maybe they call it
Right.
now, at 1.7.
Stay positive, Bill. All right, go ahead.
1.7, let's say it's 1.75, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get the bipartisan, whatever infrastructure bill, which is already passed. That's about 1.7, right? 1.9, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they already had the $2 trillion pandemic thing back in like February with all that extra child care support and everything, the child tax credit. So if you add those up, right, and I think we'll get all three at that form, for Joe Biden, that's $5 trillion in new social programs for people, not for the wealthy, right? For average people, that's more than LBJ and FDR combined in their first year.
Thank you.
Right?
With 48 senators, basically, as you say.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And I went, as you know, I went right to the happy, clappy, positive part of your Grumpy Gus piece. So this interview would not be awkward. You said, give Democrats credit for this. Unlike Republicans, they're in the game. They're trying to do something about infrastructure, both physical and human, while Republicans just sit on the sidelines, determined to vote against anything Biden proposes, no matter how big or what's in it. That's the extraordinary story the media misses. 100% of Republicans are, pardon me, anything about anything. I mean, the voting rights legislation bill, you remember, it passed 98-0 under George W. Bush. I mean, these Republicans are just different. They are terrorists. I mean, they are, in some cases, actual terrorists. They're economic terrorists. They're COVID terrorists. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They are a danger to America.
Total agree. And by the way, the voting rights bill, I think you can, again, put some blame on Joe Manchin on that one. Right. I mean, so he says, oh, I don't want that great big baby. It's too much in it. So let me write my own bill and I'll go out and get Republicans for it. And how many Republicans did he get?
One.
Zero.
You got Lisa Murkowski. Yeah.
One, Murkowski. Yeah, that's right. Yesterday he got Murkowski. The other vote, he got zero. So, yeah, that's
Bill, do you think there's any chance, though, that is now the fourth, fifth time, whatever? Do you feel like that is going to be the thing that might get us to a carve out? Because when we keep saying we got to get rid of the filibuster, well, that's Manchin and Sinema too. That's the reason we can't get rid of the filibuster to get any of this good stuff. Do you feel like Joe Manchin's own voting bill going down, now this is the fourth, fifth, whatever, the Republicans are blocking debate on even debating it. They're blocking even talking about it. Do you think that will get us any closer to a carve out with Manchin or Sinema?
I'm afraid not, because of Joe Manchin. Because I don't think Manchin will ever care. He should. The filibuster is outrageous. It's anti-democratic. We ought to not fix it. Get rid of it, right? Totally. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I think because of Manchin that we won't be able to.
Yeah.
We should. By the way, I want to come back to what you said about these Republicans not playing on, not even on the field, right? They haven't fielded a team, right?
Yeah.
So they're messy, and we don't give a rat's ass about any of it, right?
Right. Right.
We don't want any of it. No matter how big it is, no matter how good it is, no matter what's in it, what's not in it, we're going to vote against it.
Where is the mainstream media's coverage of that, Bill, that they are not a governing party anymore?
That's the point I was just going to get at. The media narrative on this has been the worst I've ever seen it. All they write about is the bickering among Democrats. None of them write about the fact that the Republicans have basically checked out. Why are we paying them? Why are they getting a paycheck?
Yeah.
They're not. They might as well not even come to Washington, right?
And by the way, Joe Biden bucked 40-year historical trends. Where is that mainstream media theme? As Cavian Schroff said, Democrat Phil Murphy wins re-election as governor of Jersey, the first Democrat to do so since 1977. The victory pushes back against the media narrative. The results in Virginia spell doom for the Democrats in elections that are a year away. I mean, the doom and gloom just drives me crazy. That's the trend, is normally for the last 40 years, whoever's in power in the White House has lost Virginia and Jersey. You know, we won Jersey. We lost. I mean, it's just, the panic is what is going to kill us, right?
It should not. And by the way, people were saying yesterday that Virginia whoa, that's a deep blue state. No, it's not. No, it's not. Virginia has been a red state like its entire existence, maybe since the days of Thomas Jefferson. And lately, we were lucky. We got a couple of senators and we got a governor, right? But it's still pink at most, right?
Yeah.
For Virginia.
Well,
so that was no real surprise. No, I agree with you. This morning, all I saw were articles in the media saying, oh, this proves that Democrats don't have a prayer of winning, keeping the House in 2022. That's BS. That is total BS.
Yeah.
There's a year that Democrats can really turn this around again.
Yeah.
I think if they pass these two bills, they'll have a good program,
Yep.
a good platform, and they'll be able to go out there and say, hey, you elected us to deliver, and we delivered.
Yeah, and we've gone from 1% to 80% vaccinated in a few months under President Joe Biden. If we can get kids the shot, people get their boosters, people that are not vaccinated. I mean, he's already created more jobs last month than Donald Trump did in 4 years, Bill. We are going to have a real, I think, amazing story to tell in 2022.
Absolutely.
One thing I think you write in your piece, by the way, I also just want to focus on where we agree.
Yeah.
Is Merrick Garland asleep at the switch? I also think there needs to be real consequences for January 6th. You said Trump is still doing the same thing to the House Select Committee. He did in the Ukraine thing. He's interfering with the work of Congress. He's breaking the law again. It looks like he might get away with it again. And you said the big question this time around, why is Attorney General Merrick Garland letting him get away with obstructing Congress again? So
Two things. One is Merrick Garland should already have appointed a special prosecutor to investigate Donald Trump, and charges should have been filed. If you look at, and one of those pieces, I listed 5 federal laws that on the face of it, Donald Trump has broken. Let's start with just take one, that phone call to the Secretary of State in Georgia saying, hey, go find me 11,780 votes. That's all I need, right? In other words, commit election fraud, interfere in a state election. That is a federal crime. Donald Trump should be.
You finished your piece by saying this is about defending democracy, and for our democracy to survive, Trump must pay the consequences. I think
Merrick Garland's asleep at the switch. The other thing, Steve Bannon. Okay, it's Merrick Garland said, well, we're going to take a look at Steve Bannon and run that through the process. Well, duh, it's already been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, what is there to investigate? He was given a subpoena. It's a federal crime not to comply with that subpoena. Bingo. I mean, what is he going to investigate, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he hasn't, he's taken 2 weeks, I think, just shows that. I mean, it makes the Biden administration and the Justice Department look bad. The law is the law. Come on, no man's above the law. Certainly not Steve Bannon. And you know, the last time he refused to comply with the subpoena when Bill Barr was in the Justice Department. Well, of course, because he knew Barr wouldn't go after him.
Yeah.
But damn it, now Merrick Garland should.
Yeah.
He broke the law.
We voted to restore the rule of law in this country. All right. I love you and I miss you, Bill Press, and that's why I'm going to pretend I didn't read Democrats snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I'm going to pretend I didn't read that piece, that grumpy Gus thing. And I will urge you to get Bill Press's podcast. How do we listen to you and hear you, Bill Press?
Love you, Stephanie.
How do we get the podcast? Tell us.
Oh, you get the podcast just anywhere you listen to a podcast, Apple or Google or Spotify, whatever. I'm there. I'm on all the platforms. This week, by the way, Adam Schiff is up and did a really good on his new book. I love Adam Schiff.
My T-shirt. You might think it's okay. I don't. It's my Adam Schiff T-shirt. Yes.
There you go. And Tim Mack, the new book on the NRA. He destroys the NRA. He and Letitia James are going to bring down the NRA, and that's in the podcast this week. So it's Bill Press Pod, wherever you listen to podcasts, go for it and look forward to it.
And you said you miss drinking in Ithaca with me. I don't miss drinking or Ithaca, but I do miss you. I love you, Bill.
Love you, Stephanie. See you later.
See you next time. 49 minutes after the hour, this portion of the show.